I'm Jacob Hamilton,
And I'm Hidro Joseph.
and welcome to the Hardwood Huddle, a basketball podcast where we break down the latest news and games in the NBA and basketball world. Hidro, how you doing, man?
Not as good as you. You had fun over in Vegas, I heard.
Yes, a lot of fun actually. A lot more fun than I thought I'd be for being under 21 in Vegas. So that but I still had a good time. I got to meet Damian Lillard yesterday as I was walking out of my hotel with my parents and my mom, who knows basketball a little bit. She noticed who Dame was, but my dad has no interest in sports. He's just a pure car guy, and my sister, I mean, she doesn't care. And I'm like, oh my god, that's Damian Lillard. I saw him with his boot, and I actually felt terrible. And his leg, like you don't really like think about like the muscle loss part of like those injuries, because I mean, like, I've never had like an injury to that standard, and I'm not in like NBA shape, so it probably wouldn't affect me as much. But his like legs like were just completely different sizes, and I was like, it's just terrible. But I had to tell him to get healthy, and I'm a fan of him. So got to meet Damian Lillard. That was an experience for sure.
You didn't glaze and try to get a picture or nothing, did you?
No, I'm not really a big picture guy. I'd prefer this might sound a little corny, but like I prefer the interaction. I like that interaction a little bit more. Like when I met Stephen A. Smith, I was talking shit a little bit. I let him know to stop talking trash about Ohio State. This was 2021. This was during the Suns final. So Ohio State hadn't won anything since 2014. He was like, y'all need to win a natty before you start talking to me. And I was like, all right. I was like, I'll see you. I'll see you soon. Now I'm waiting for him. Next time I see him, I'm gonna let him know for sure. But no, not a big picture guy. I'm not, unless it's LeBron. I'd ask LeBron for a picture. LeBron could ask me for my food, and I'd just give it to him. So that's that's just me. But yeah, yeah, I had a great time. Got to go to the Sphere. I got to see Kenny Chesney, so a country concert, not like a Travis Scott concert at the Sphere, but it was still just as cool. It was life changing, actually. It was something that I just wasn't expecting. It definitely made me quite a bit sick, because like they're moving and stuff. I'm just like, no, this is not okay. But when I wasn't feeling like trash, it was fun. But it's definitely going to be hard to see another concert not at the Sphere, because it's just like so much different than like you think. Like I had an idea of what it was going to be like when going in, but it was definitely like a lot different. Yeah, it was crazy.
I'm I'm dying to go to the Sphere, man. I'm uh just as soon as I can get an opportunity to go to Vegas, that's
Yeah.
on my list of things to do for sure.
Hold on, let me see if I have a cool. I know it's going to be hard to see um through the screen, but this is a video from the Sphere. Like it looked like there's the pit below. I went on an angle, but like it's just fully wrapped around. Like it was the craziest shit I've ever seen. It was super fun though. But yeah, Vegas is it's an interesting place. You go out on the town after 10:30 at night. It's not a place where children should be hanging out. So, but I'm definitely happy I went before I turned 21, so I know what I'm getting myself into when I do turn 21. So yeah.
I needed you to hit 21 so I could send you some money. Uh,
Hey,
put a sports bet down for me.
I'll do it. I'll do it. It was only a 5 hour drive, so I mean, I can make that a day trip if I really wanted to. I can get in and out of there as quick as I can. Um, but while I was gone, the Eastern Conference Finals did end. Let me pull up the score. Let me make sure I have this pulled up. I'll just to go over the score real quick. Might as well. The Cavs, the Pacers beat the New York Knicks 125 to 108. Um, Led by Pascal Siakam with 31 points and Tyrese Halliburton with 21 points and 13 assists as well. So definitely, definitely not what I expected. I kind of thought the Knicks were going to send this to a game 7, but they disappointed me. Just like how my Knicks friend is very disappointed right now, and I was just giving him a hard time about 20 minutes ago. So that was always fun.
Then I feel like the Knicks fans did get their parade though. They
Yeah,
they definitely celebrated after
of course.
they celebrated hard as hell after the second round to the tune of police going out into the streets
Yeah,
to try to get everybody to go home, unplugging speakers and stuff because people brought out speakers with music booming
yeah,
and everybody was out there. just getting wild and crazy. I thought they won something for real. They actually just got past the second round and beat the
Yeah.
defending champions. That was great. Really good, but it's not the pinnacle of the sport. And
Nope.
maybe the celebration took its toll by the way they, as a entire fan base, kind of let off the gas when it
Yeah.
came to how well they were playing in game one, and then end up losing that game and then losing another game in New York. You can't
Yeah.
lose those first two games at home and
Nope.
expect to come out of a series on top. It's too difficult to win 4 out of 5 games
Yeah.
against an NBA team, any NBA team, by the way.
Yeah. And especially this Pacers team that has the power of friendship with them as well. And Miles Turner was saying that in the press conference. It was like, now we have the finals matchup of just the power of friendship. And I don't know if the Knicks have that anymore after trading away Dante DiVincenzo. So that's on them. Maybe the Knicks don't go as far as they probably should, is because the fans just celebrate too hard after winning absolutely nothing. And I have no issue with the Knicks, but that's just what the Knicks fans do, is they just go crazy, throw trash cans at people's heads. Like, that's what happens. That's what happens when you do stuff like that. So,
throwing trash at the Indiana Pacers fan
yep.
that was wearing Halliburton jersey. I think that was at the Knicks Celtics game.
Yeah, that was after the final game of that series, I believe.
I think Miles Turner took that power of friendship little quote from the Miami Heat community, and Thomas Bryant used to be a member of the Heat before he got traded to the Pacers, and he must have said that in their locker room, because now all of a sudden he's talking about the power of friendship. That's something that Miami Heat Twitter likes to talk about a lot. So,
okay.
That's what we used to call it when Jimmy Butler was around.
The power of friendship, Miami. See, I never knew about that, and that means I have to get on Heat Twitter a little bit more. But speaking of the Heat, in just like a quick second, Tyler Hero's brother just committed to Ohio State to play basketball. I don't know if he's good at basketball. I don't know if he's anything like his brother, but I saw it today and I got pretty happy because I like Tyler Hero. So that's some big news for me right there. But we the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I know this is something that when I saw the winner of this, and I think when one guy saw who won it, I think everyone was just as almost confused. But Pascal Siakam did win the Eastern Conference Finals MVP. I just want to talk about this a little bit. It was a 5-4, because there's only 9 voters. Who even votes on that? Where would I find that photo of all the voters? Because that is
I don't know if I sent that to you. No, I don't think I sent that to you.
Check. Maybe.
So that might be on the Hardwood Huddle Twitter feed or X feed. So
X.
We are at Hardwood Huddle on X, and you can look us up and retweet, repost different NBA stuff that we think is pretty cool and stuff. Please follow us. We need more followers.
Yeah, more followers. Always need more followers. I cannot find it, but it was 5-1 in Pascal Siakam's favor over Tyrese Halliburton, obviously. And we did see Tyrese Halliburton walking up like what Drewski did during the celebrity game when they were announcing the MVP of that. He was walking up with his head, rubbing his hands together, and it just wasn't him. And so, but truthfully, when I first saw that, because after the game ended, we had to go somewhere. I don't remember where we had to go, but I couldn't watch the rest, like the final of it. And I saw that Pascal had won it, and I was like, wait, I feel like this is we might have just seen like a crazy highway robbery. And I feel like a lot of people also at the same time think we still seen that, but like, I don't think it's as big of a deal as it really is like out to be, right? Because it's like last year we also saw Jaylen Brown win it over Jason Tatum, but Jaylen Brown also went crazy and won Finals MVP. So, I mean, obviously it's a little bit different. If Pascal wins Finals MVP, then we can have that same kind of conversation. But yeah, I don't know. I'm not too upset about it. Pascal had a great series. I mean, I want to make sure I have his numbers up because I want to make sure I give him his due diligence.
Especially that game 2.
Yeah, that's exactly. Yeah, 39 points in game 2. I'll just go over his points in this series. So game 1, 17, 2, 39, 3, 17, Game 4, 30, game 5, 15, and game 6, 31. So what's that? What does that go out to average? Like, oh, I don't know. That's too much math in my head, but definitely still like not a bad series from Pascal Siakam. Obviously, when you have 39 points in a game 2, and on the road, by the way, I mean, and then you drop 30, and then you drop another 30 in the closeout game. I mean, I feel like he almost does deserve it, but at the same time, we did see Tyrese Halliburton just like own the city of New York. But we'll go over Tyrese this year. 31 points, 11 assists in game 1, 14, 8 boards, and 11 assists in game 2, 20 points, 4 boards, 7 assists, game 3. He had a 32-point triple-double with 12 boards and 15 assists in game 4. Game 5.
That was big time.
Game 5, he had the stinker of 8 points, 2 boards, and 6 assists. Obviously, stinker when you have 6 assists is hard to say when you only have zero turnovers. But he did have 21.6 boards and 13 assists in the closeout game. I mean, they both didn't like play the entire series the greatest, right? But they had like pretty much the same number of down games, if that's what you want to call them. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really too concerned about the winner of the conference finals MVP. Who is that? The Larry Bird Award? That's who it's named after, right? Because it's Magic in the West.
So. The Magic Johnson Award on the Western Conference side.
But yeah,
okay. So hear me out.
What do you think about
that? We got to decide how big of a deal it is as a basketball community with these conference finals MVPs, because this is a recent phenomena that the NBA has begun, and so we have to decide, like, hey, are we going to give the players of today credit for these conference finals MVPs versus finals MVPs, or are we just saying, hey, congratulations, you got that, we're not that worried about it, like it's a sportsmanship award and we're not even really tracking who's getting it? So if we are making it a very big deal and we're talking about looking at retroactively handing out who we believe would have won it if they did it throughout time.
Yeah.
LeBron James is the greatest of all time in that regard, because he would have more than anybody else, including Bill Russell.
Yeah, and Bill Russell,
including any of those Celtics guys in the past.
Michael Jordan would have probably 6 of them.
Yeah, Michael Jordan would probably have 6 of them. LeBron James would probably have 10 of them. So
10 of them.
that's where we stand there. So for the LeBron haters, you're gonna want to minimize how y'all feel about it. If we're gonna minimize how we feel about it, then so what if Pascal Siakam won it? Versus Tyrese Halliburton. A lot of people feel like Tyrese Halliburton should have won it based on certain highlights that point guards tend to generate because they dominate the ball more than any other position.
Mm-hmm.
But Pascal Siakam had a brilliant series, and I don't blame voters picking one way or the other, to be honest.
No, yeah, neither do I. Yeah, I it's hard because like what you said, is it an important award? Like, is that, it's hard to label something as an important award if it hasn't been here the entire time, right? So it's like, we could go back and like, as basketball fans, we could label like each winner of the award for the last like finals appearances before it was added, obviously, but no one's going to go out and do that. Yeah, I don't know. To me, it seems like that was very loud. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's a big deal. I don't like, it's a cool award. It's like, okay, like, hey, like this is like what, like this shows like the leader, right? But like the leader of the Pacers wasn't Pascal Siakam. It was Tyrese Halliburton, who had a better entire playoff run, Tyrese Halliburton. So he'd get it in that sense. I don't know. It's the award really doesn't do anything to me. I'm not like going crazy over it.
Do you think that it could have a kind of mentality effect going into the finals? All of a sudden, when a game's close, Pascal Siakam's open and Tyrese Halliburton takes the shot anyway, thinking, if I'm the hero, I get the Finals MVP trophy, and that's more important. Yada yada yada.
I mean, knowing how Tyrese Halliburton plays basketball, I doubt it because he's just not like. I mean, we can see him score like 2 points in the first half of a game. I mean, do these people want to stop texting me? I'm recording a show. What are we doing? No, I don't think it's gonna hold a lot of a weight like on the team or whatever. I think realistically, Tyrese and Pascal probably both were like, well, they probably were like, we'll just call it right? Like they'll share it. They can share the award because they deserve it. But I don't think in Tyrese Halliburton's like in that scenario of him having the last shot and Pascal is open, I don't think he's not going to pass to him. Like I think he's going to find the open man like he always does. But that would be pretty interesting if that's what happened and we just seen Tyrese Halliburton just turn rogue and just go like just shooting every shot, never passing.
If you look on the other end, it looks like the Thunder don't care who shoots the ball.
No.
At the end of the game, they all support Shea, but if the hero of the game is Lou Dort, they would be just as happy, if not happier.
Yeah, no, they probably would be happier if it was somebody other than Shea, obviously, because that means more people are getting more spotlight. But yeah, I don't know. To kind of wrap up this kind of part right here, I don't know if it holds a lot of significance. But maybe we'll put a poll out on Twitter and have the people vote on it because I'm interested to see if actually people care about it because it is
I want people to put importance on it. That just makes LeBron James look better.
It does, but it's like, does he get those awards? So that's where it kind of it's odd. We'll go into the finals matchup here. Obviously, Thunder versus the Pacers. Game is on Thursday.
Two small market teams,
right? The Paul George finals. The only reason why these teams are in the position they're in is because of Paul George, and we need to recognize that. So, thank you, Paul George, I guess, for this finals because I'm excited for it. Yeah, it is Thursday at 5:30 p.m. That is Pacific time. But how about we go through?
So the Clippers should be excited in the future. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. But like technically, like he didn't like. He like left.
Clippers versus Philly in the finals in 2028.
Is that the take? Is that
after Paul George gets traded? Yeah, I'm calling it now.
There we go. Now it's solidified. It's on camera. This like the internet is never going away. So that is it. I'll make sure in 2028 because we'll still be doing the show. Hopefully, I'll make sure to get this clipped. But I say we should just go through position battles for the Thunder versus Pacers before we give our predictions. Obviously, just matchup wise and stuff. Point guard for the Thunder obviously is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and point guard for the Pacers is Tyrese Halliburton. So
put some respect on his name. MVP, most valuable player in
MVP.
The NBA.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. The foul baiter, as they would like to call him, which he's not because he shoots a significantly less amount of free throws than lots of MVPs before him. But all right, so who wins this position battle? Who are you thinking? We're just talking personnel wise between the two.
I love how Tyrese Halliburton is so clutch, especially in the fourth quarter. Yep. Very dependable. Doesn't turn the ball over very much. Can control the pace. Can basically do what Indiana Pacers head coach Rick Carlisle needs him to do in order to get the engine rolling for the Pacers offense.
Yeah.
So I really like that. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is a better player. Yep. He can dictate the way the refs call the game.
Yep.
And similarly put the Pacers roster in kind of a no-win situation when it comes to how we're going to defend them. Are we going to put two on the ball? Are we going to force some baseline to keep them from going middle to his spots?
Yeah.
If you do that, you take away a lot of your help. If they swing it, then they got open shooters, especially a guy like Chet who can shoot as a 7-footer from deep.
Yep.
and it poses a lot of problems. The pressure that he puts on your team to the tune of he's going to do that and still get his 30 because that's what he does.
Yeah.
So it's a really difficult guard, a matchup for the Pacers, and they do have the wings to defend it.
Yeah.
So we'll see. It's a kind of a chess match per se that people should be excited about, even though there's no major market playing in
Yeah.
this NBA Finals.
Um, and I'm believe this stat is just me remembering how the season went. I believe the Thunder are 2-0 against the Pacers in the regular season. That could it
I
could they
believe
could
that's
be.
correct.
I mean, no one really
I
beat the
believe that's
Thunder,
correct.
so it's kind of I mean, kind of just guessing there. But yeah. So for me, obviously, the point guard matchup, you kind of explained it well. We do have the MVP in this conversation, so it's hard to say that the other point guard is better than the MVP. But Shea is the better player. Obviously, he just is, and that's no disrespect to Tyrese Halliburton because he's one of my favorites. But it's just how the cookie crumbles in reality. But question, let's say Tyrese Halliburton and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander swapped spots on their teams. So Shea to Indy, Tyrese to Oklahoma City with the same guys. They run the same type of offense. Who do you think is more successful?
Uh, I think that I think that Tyrese is more successful,
Okay.
and the reason is because I just think that the Thunder team are a really deep team
Yeah.
to where you can put a high level NBA point guard as a replacement player and still have a team that compete for a championship
Yeah.
versus if you put Shea Gilgis Alexander in the Eastern Conference. I'm not exactly sure how his play really works in the
Uh,
East per se. Like
yeah.
just the East runs things a little differently. They play a lot
Yeah.
slower, and
It's not a lot of flashy ball at the end of the day. It's just a lot of like sophisticated basketball. Um,
they welcome fouls in the Eastern Conference. So
yeah.
you got guys like Jalen Brunson and stuff like that who play a lot like SGA does
Yeah.
when it comes to foul baiting for the
Um,
refs.
yeah, I don't know who I really would think it would do better. I think obviously Shea is just gonna get his anyway in general, but yeah, I think probably Tyrese does as well. I think Tyrese can create his own offense, like not to the same amount of level Shea can, um, because there obviously is a gap between the two. But yeah, I think Tyrese would probably do better than Shea would probably do
Uh,
in Indy himself.
a lot of people would think that Halliburton led Thunder would have lost that 7 game series against Denver. I disagree. I think that Tyrese Halliburton would have held his own just fine versus if SGA was in the if SGA was in the Eastern Conference, it would have mostly been him trying to will his way versus Cleveland. And I just haven't seen, for me, I just haven't seen SGA have to play that many tough fourth quarters. He's always sitting out in fourth quarters.
Yeah,
And the Pacers have had to do a lot of come from behind type of
yeah,
things that he hasn't had to do since he was playing for the Clippers.
literally.
So him playing from 15, 20 points down, that's not necessarily his game. When we saw the Thunder go down by a significant amount in the Western Conference finals against the Timberwolves, they folded.
Yeah,
They allowed the Timberwolves to beat them by 40 some points. So there was no comeback in their game, and I'm not sure. And that's the way the Pacers have been playing. They've been cardiac kids this whole playoff. So I'm
yeah,
not sure if SGA would necessarily translate. Despite playing very well, he would
yeah,
be up there as the top point guard in the in the Eastern Conference, but I'm not sure if that would matter because of the team around him.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, yeah, I want to get back to the player matchup because we're getting a little off topic here, but I am enjoying this topic. So maybe we have to revisit it once we're done with this part. But all right, let's get back into it. Shooting guard, we have Andrew Nembhard versus LeGwentz Dort. Lou Dort, as the people would know him. What are you thinking on this one?
I'm gonna go with the Haitian sensation Lou Dort. He is top notch defender. Was in the running for defensive player of the year.
Yep.
Solid shooter and very good team player.
Yeah.
And doesn't necessarily run hot and cold because he hangs his hat on defense.
Yeah.
So
that's his best ability.
It has a tendency to it has a tendency to stay with you from game to game versus a shooting stroke, for instance. So
yeah,
I like Lou Dort in that matchup.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm taking Lou Dort as well. There's nothing. This is nothing against Nembhard. Previous teammates on Team Canada, actually, but I have their numbers pulled up here. It's just Lou Dort's numbers on offense for this season. 10 points, 4 boards, 1.6 assists. I'll round that to 2. 43% from the field, 41% from 3. Nembhard 10 points, 3 boards, and 5 assists with 45 and 29% from 3. I think Lou Dort's offensive ability is a little bit higher than Andrew Nembhard's, talking 3-point wise. I think he obviously is just, when you have Shai Gilgeous-Alexander on your team, you're going to be shooting higher because he does also take a lot of shots. So obviously percentage wise are a little different. But yeah, I think the defense of Lou Dort's just too hard to like pass up on. Like if I was building up a team, I'm taking Lou Dort over Nembhard.
Time out. We got another side conversation, unfortunately.
No.
Did you say Nembhard's Canadian?
Yeah.
That's very scary. The Canadian national team could be a scary mother in the next Olympics. We're talking the MVP of the league, SGA.
Lou Dort.
You got Lou Dort. You got Andrew Nembhard.
Dylan Brooks.
Dylan Brooks. Who else is Canadian? So many Canadians.
Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He's Canadian. Who else was on that national team? Gosh, they were just shown in that Olympic documentary on Netflix. What's it called? Who else is on that team? I feel like we're forgetting like a notable guy here.
Let me see if I can pull him up real quick.
Let me make sure this,
because that's going to be insane to go up against a team like that. A team like France is going to be crazy.
Yep. Is what FIBA's next summer, right? That's 2 summers after the Olympics. I'm pretty sure is the FIBA national team. So I think I could be
RJ Barrett, Zach Edey.
Yep. I always forget he's Canadian.
Trey Lyles, Kelly Olynyk. Let's see, Dwight Powell. Shaedon Sharp apparently is Canadian. Good God. Andrew Wiggins, that's the one I was trying to think of.
Wiggins, yeah, and Aaron Wiggins.
Current Miami Heat player. That's Jamal Murray.
Yeah, Jamal. Yeah, see, like I knew we were forgetting like one notable guy right there, and it was Jamal Murray.
Benedict Mathurin of the Pacers.
I thought he was from like the Bahamas or somewhere. I swear he like always talked about that.
So I'm Haitian, and Lou Dort and Benedict Mathurin are 2 Haitians going against each other in the NBA Finals. So that's pretty exciting.
That is.
But Brandon Clark from the Grizzlies.
Yeah, Brandon Clark.
They're gonna have some players, man.
Yeah, there's that. I mean, Team Canada's not. I mean, they weren't in the. I don't remember like the exact score from the Olympics. That was some time ago, obviously. But I think I mean that they were a team that beat. I think they were they won the FIBA before the Olympics. I think that they beat like Team USA pretty badly. I feel like I'm remembering that correctly. I can't remember
Mhm.
fully, but small forward player wise, we have Aaron Nesmith for the Pacers, along with J Dub for the Thunder. So I mean, I'll start J Dub. I mean, he's like, I mean, this is no hate against Aaron Nesmith. He shoots the hell out of the ball, but it's like J Dub was an all star, even though that was more of a questionable thing. He all star, all NBA third team. Did he make a defensive team? I feel like I'm forgetting. Maybe he did. Maybe second team. Maybe I'm forgetting.
Talking about J-Dub?
J Dub.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe not. Maybe not. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, J Dub can create his own shot. Like he's just another. He's their second option on that team. So you're not gonna take Aaron Nesmith over a second option on a team that has pretty much 70 wins. They have 80 wins before they have 20 losses on the year combined with the playoffs, by the way, which is crazy. But who are you taking in this small forward matchup?
Oh, good God. He just made all defensive this year.
J Dub.
J-Dub.
And what was that?
Yeah.
That was second team.
I believe so.
Yeah.
We have to
So I
double
mean,
check
yeah,
that.
it's just
But yeah, of course it's J-Dub. He was all NBA third team this year. And the way we're going about it, you can already tell what we're thinking about our predictions, but the he had a really solid season compared to Neesmith. I
yeah.
think that it's not even really a close call there.
No, it's not. And there's not too much to really talk about on it. But for the power forward matchup, this is a topic, obviously, of conversation that we should have about it. But Pacers, Pascal Siakam versus the Thunder's Chet Holmgren. What are we thinking here? I have it, but like I don't know. Like it's also a hard size matchup as well. So I mean, I'm gonna take Chet just off of just basis size. I think that's really it all. I think the Thunder are just tall. Like I mean, we're jumping the gun here, but talking about center Isaiah Hartenstein, I mean, like they're going to be able to they're not going to be able to switch that every time. So it's tough. So yeah, I'm taking Chet. It's not anything against Pascal Siakam. I don't think Chet's a better player, but just off this series wise, I feel like Chet might have a little bit of a better series, if that might sound crazy to say. But that's just me.
I'm a little afraid for the what Chet Holmgren is going to be able to do against Pascal Siakam. It's going to be really scary. I got Chet Holmgren, and I actually don't think it's close.
Okay.
I'm going that far. I guess the Eastern Conference Finals MVP,
Yeah.
Pascal Siakam.
Wow.
I think that his defense is just a next level type of defense that's going to have an effect not just on Pascal, but everybody on the Pacers roster that tries to cut into the basket.
Yeah.
And they're going to be highly dependent on their streaky three-point shooting. That three-point shooting is going to have to be nails.
Yep.
In the finals because Chet Holmgren mans the paint so crazily that it's very, very difficult for teams to even rotate the ball and get a good shot over his reach. So
yeah, I mean his frame is crazy, and realistically, Chet hasn't been. I don't. It's hard to say like Chet hasn't lived up to like the hype, right? But it's also hard to live up to the hype when you're on a team that is as loaded as this Thunder team. But you saying it isn't close is kind of crazy to me, because it is Pascal Siakam. I mean, he is a one-time Finals champion with the Toronto Raptors, Eastern Conference Finals MVP, obviously this season. And that was obviously a toss-up between the two of Tyrese Halliburton and Pascal. Oh my God.
I didn't even get to the offensive side of the ball when it comes to Chet Holmgren. Uh,
Hmm.
Whenever they make swing passes to get to Chet Holmgren in for three, most teams can't reach his shot. So he has a
Yeah.
wide open shot similar to the way people try to swing and try to catch up to Karl Anthony Towns shots. So he's going to be a very difficult guard
Hmm.
for the Pacers to a very difficult person to defend for the Pacers, and he's
Yeah.
going to be a huge matchup problem in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree that he will be a matchup problem, and that is why I did pick Chet. I mean, it's just hard when you have like 2 7-footers just like roaming in the paint, and like your power forward can like is a true just like I hate to use this word because like he's really not technically like a demigod basketball player because he's not winning MVPs and all this and that, but he does have like that alien like build just like Wemby does. So it's like that's a hard matchup for anybody. Um, but yeah, I think it's a little closer than I feel like from what you're saying, but I get why you think it's not as close as it is. I see both sides of the coin. Um, Centers, we have Miles Turner for the Pacers and Isaiah Hartenstein for the Thunder. What are we thinking here? Let's hear it. You open it up.
Miles Turner, uh, I'm very proud of him for what 10 years I believe with the Pacers,
Yep.
and finally cracking the NBA Finals for the first time. So I know he's going to be super pumped and super excited. I'm gonna
Yep.
need him to get on the boards and be serious about that because it's going to be very difficult to potentially get boards and get out and run the same way that they've been doing against the Eastern Conference opponents.
Yeah.
But he can do it. Isaiah Hartenstein is going to make him work for it,
Yeah.
and it's more even than it looks on paper. But Miles Turner does get the nod for me
Yeah.
on defense.
I'm taking Miles Turner as well. I think Miles Turner being able to stretch the floor like he does, um, compared to Isaiah Hartenstein, obviously, who can't stretch the floor to the level of Miles Turner, obviously. So yeah, I'm taking Miles Turner. And I'm super happy for Miles Turner as well. A guy who was rumored to be a Sun at one point, a sign and trade for DeAndre Ayton. I bet the Pacers fans are super happy that they did not go through with that trade because I was hoping we did because I did want Miles Turner. But yeah, I'm taking Miles Turner here. Comparing stats wise, Turner with 15 or 16 points, rounding it up to 7 rebounds along with 2 assists, shooting 40% from three. Isaiah Hartenstein shoots 0, and he does grab 10 boards. So obviously, like Pascal Siakam is a leading rebounder on this Pacers team. So, like you said, he's still going to have to work for it against Isaiah Hartenstein. But I think matchup wise, I'm giving it to Turner for sure. All right, now that we have the full, we had
You want to
the
do the
starting,
bench?
the starting. You want to do the bench? Should we do bench?
So the bench for the Pacers versus the bench for the Thunder. I mean,
Um, yeah,
to be quick, I like the Thunder.
yeah,
The Thunder's depth over the Pacers' depth.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
It's hard.
Isaiah Joe. I mean, the list goes on and on.
Yeah,
They got a lottery pick who hasn't even played this season,
yeah,
who will be available to them and actually be and get decent minutes for them starting next season.
yeah.
So
Um,
they're completely loaded.
yeah. And that's why they were as good as they were is because their bench is so crazy along with that starting five that they have. Um, yeah, I mean, we really don't have to go through the bench because I think
One
everyone
of
has.
their best guys, one of their best guys, um, defensively that they traded for isn't even. Uh, I think he's All NBA, like first team or second team, and he doesn't even start for them.
I'm back.
Alex Caruso doesn't even start for that team, and he's one of their top defenders and leaders who already has a ring with the Lakers in 2020. So
Yeah,
that team from top to bottom is just way too way too difficult of of a matchup.
Yeah, and on top of like Jay Will, obviously the other Jalen Williams. I mean, a guy who really didn't get to see like a lot of the like a court a lot of the time during the regular season, but when he was out there, when they were dealing with some injury issues, but you didn't really notice it because their bench is too good. He was, I think he had like 3 triple doubles this season, like just like casually, just on like a Monday afternoon, like just triple doubles for their bench guy. Like it's just like, what are we doing? Ken Rich, you got Aaron Wiggins, like Kaysen Wallace, you mentioned it earlier, Topic, Caruso, like you said, it's just top to bottom.
Kaysen Wallace is nice,
and they're gonna get more guys because they just have so many picks. But that second apron is waiting for the Thunder. Then that's for sure. But yeah, bench wise, I'm giving it to the Thunder. But shout out to the Pacers bench because I do like the Pacers because we did pick a lot of Thunder here. But yeah, we didn't pick our predictions yet. Let's see. I have like a weird little prediction here. So do you want to open it up or or shall I?
I'll go first, so you
Okay.
can do your weird prediction, and I'll be completely shocked because I have no idea what you're talking about. But that's cool. I got the not so weird prediction, and I don't think the Pacers take a game in the NBA Finals.
Fair enough.
For a lot of reasons, the Thunder won nearly 70 games versus the Pacers, even though they've had a top offense in the playoffs.
Yeah.
The season proved that just because they had a good offense doesn't mean that that they can still win games despite that. Like, because offense comes and goes. Just look at the way the Celtics were trying to hang on with their 3-point shooting.
Mm-hmm.
And it worked for them last year. It did not work for them this year.
Yeah.
So you need that defense, and the Thunder are just head over heels better when it comes to the defensive end. So I don't think that the Pacers have what it takes to even win a single game in this finals. It's going to be short.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. Yes, that is what is going to happen, and that is going to happen. I believe that a sweep will happen, but that's not my pick because I kind of like for some reason, like once like that last game ended on the Pacers, obviously on the Eastern Conference side of things because the Thunder got out of there early. I kind of for some reason was like thinking about the matchup a little bit, not giving it too much thought, kind of just like looking at the games that they all played during the playoffs, and I was like, what if we see like, because obviously we're opening up in Oklahoma City, right? The Pacers have been unbelievable on the road all season. Not all season, sorry, during the playoffs. What if we see like them take the first 2 on the road in Oklahoma City, and then we just see a clean sweep after that? We just see them get to kind of like, I know I'm comparing it to the Suns here, but like kind of like how the Suns did. They take the first 2 at home, but I feel like the Pacers, like, imagine they take the 2 on the road and then they just get swept for the rest. Like, I think realistically we could see that happen. I think the Thunder's energy could be way too high off of being this crazy, like 80 plus wins and not even 20 losses yet as a team throughout the entire season in bringing in the playoffs. I'm just hoping we see something like that. Is that going to happen? No, but I'm going to call it my pick just because, like, if it does happen, I called it. So I'm a ride with the Thunder in 6, but the Pacers take the first 2 on the road. Sounds crazy to say out loud.
I think that Nevada should be more stricter on the drugs that they allow their visitors to partake in. You just said that the Thunder would lose the first 2 games at home to the Indiana Pacers. So,
but wait, let me like clear out myself. like I said, that's not happening. That's not happening. But I'm gonna like say it because like if it happens, I'm the guy who called the first two road wins for the Pacers, and I'm just gonna be like this crazy Pacers fanboy for the rest of my life because I called those two wins, and then they proceed to get beat 4-0 after that. But what I think is gonna happen in real life is that they're gonna get swept. Maybe they take one game at home. They're 8-0 when Caitlin Clark's in attendance, so maybe they'll bring her out for one game, maybe even both. But yeah, I just wanted to clear that, make sure that was.
Can I piggyback on your prediction?
Yeah.
Seeing as you got a puff pass. If
Yeah.
the Pacers win the first two, they're not losing the finals. They're going to be the NBA champions.
I don't think
and
so.
I'm calling that right off the top.
Okay.
There's not a single chance in the world that they win two games on the road and then find a way to lose the NBA finals. That's crazy talk. I think that this Pacers versus Thunder reminds me a little bit of Allen Iverson's run to the NBA finals in 2001 against the behemoth, that Lakers team of Kobe and Shaq, that was the defending champs and munched through the NBA playoffs, going undefeated until they ran into the 76ers and they won the first game in overtime, and everybody was like, oh my God, maybe that the 76ers could actually pull this out, and they did not. The rest of the games, I don't even know if they were even close. So if it played like that, I mean, the Pacers are cardiac kids. Shout out to them for making the NBA Finals for the first time in 25 years.
Yep.
That's impressive. Of course, the Thunder making the finals for the first time in 13 years, which is a wonderful feat. So I'm happy to see these two new teams in the playoffs. Yeah, it feels a lot longer. Totally different teams from 2012 and obviously 2000. But when that ball gets tipped, those Thunder faithfuls start getting rowdy like a college basketball game goes.
Yeah.
That's the only team in town. There's no NFL team over there.
Nope. They're just a basketball city.
Yeah, they're basketball all the way. So that's the only thing they're going to be looking forward to. They got the MVP in tow, so they can expect to get calls. If there's foul trouble, they go 10 deep easily, and I'm just not seeing a path to victory for these Pacers other than I've even seen them shoot and can't miss in terms of Pacers and also Knicks. When
the Thunder are just
suffocating. There's no Eastern Conference team that was going to come and defeat the Thunder, but there was a possibility that a Western Conference team could have won a series against the Thunder and then not have enough left for the Eastern Conference matchup. But alas, here we are, and there'll be a parade in OKC.
Yeah, which I'm like, as a basketball fan, I'm not mad about, and I want to make like if anyone is saying that, like, if there's a person that's telling me that they're like super upset about like this, like, oh, this is the finals that we got the Pacers in the finals that have to play this crazy Thunder team. It's like the ratings are going to be down. It's like, well, first of all, like the people that say that and that complain about like the matchup don't watch basketball. They don't care. They don't actually care about the ratings. They don't know what the ratings are. They don't. They're just saying that because that's what they see on Twitter and that's what they see on Instagram and Facebook and all those other like media platforms where they just get a lot of bullshit in their head. But no, I'm happy I'm happy that the Thunder made it. I'm happy that the Pacers made it. I'm happy that the Celtics didn't, because it kind of shows that like the Celtics are going to have to shake some things up, which that's what I'm excited for. But my prediction again, Thunder in 4. That's my real prediction. My crazy prediction is Thunder in 6. So I'm gonna ride with the crazy prediction though, and yours was Thunder in 4 as well.
I I personally am worried about the future of the NBA in terms of how dominant the Thunder are, and also how dominant the Thunder will be in the future,
Yeah.
with all the picks and stuff that they have in the pipeline. They don't even have to have a pick in the first round, and they'll have somebody else's pick. So this year they have Miami Heat's pick, which I think is number 15.
I
And I'm
believe.
also worried about the Eastern Conference as well. So if Giannis gets traded, and a lot of Western Conference teams' names have popped up, you got Jason Tatum, who's out with an Achilles. Damian
Yep.
Lillard is out with an Achilles, and I'm struggling to see why the has and have-nots are starting to separate themselves in terms of the Western Conference is becoming too powerful,
Yeah.
and people will start being like, well, once the Eastern Conference makes it to the finals,
It's done.
nobody cares what's going on that end. So it, it's one of those things where Cooper Flag is going to be in the Western Conference. They got the
Literally.
number one
That
pick.
that was worst case scenario. Is that Cooper Flag ended up in the Western Conference, and I did want him to be a Spur. I didn't think that was going to happen. That was just like crazy fantasy land pick, for me for Cooper Flag. But like, yeah, the East is really gonna be struggling here in the next like years to come. Um, but I think we're gonna get a conference realignment along with new teams, two new teams, obviously. And I feel like the team that should go to the East, and I don't know why they're not, is obviously the Timberwolves. They're in Minnesota. That's not a West Coast team. That's an Eastern Conference team. So who knows? I feel like we might have talked about this, but I've talked about this with my buddies. With the Timberwolves, realistically, if like they keep this ant train running high and they do get pushed to the East, like we might just see like the Timberwolves in the finals, kind of like how we did with like a LeBron run. Just like if they keep it going, we just might just see hell in the East for the Timberwolves. But
Yeah, but I'm just so worried about the Eastern Conference right now. Like they just don't seem very deep. A
no,
healthy Philadelphia 76ers team could make the NBA Finals next year.
yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. It's like we don't know because by at this point, I feel like we all kind of thought the Hornets would be in a different position than they are because they haven't done anything. They need to make a move. I don't know what that move is, but they need to make a move for it. They don't need to send LaMelo to the West. They need to keep him in the East. The Nets need to come back alive. Well, this is such an off-season topic right here that we need
The
to go
worst thing that
into.
could happen to the Eastern Conference was that the Cavaliers could lead the NBA all season, and it turns out Nobody's worried about them.
No one's worried
So
about
if they weren't worried about them and they led the East this year, they're not going to be worried about them next year when they do it.
it. No.
So it kind of dumbs down each victory next season as well, based on the showing that they put up this past playoffs. So when you combine all of those factors, it makes for very scary watching unless the NBA steps in and says, you know what, let's try 1 year where we get rid of conferences. That I've
Ooh,
heard that's potentially on the table,
there we go.
and
I wouldn't
different
mind that.
things like that.
But then
The
we'd have
problem
to
with
like
that is the
go
problem
ahead.
with that is just the way the schedule is weighted.
Yeah.
Like so, if I have all these teams I'm playing, and if I'm the Rockets, for instance, I got to play the Spurs with Wembanyama. I got to play Dallas with Cooper Flag, Kyrie Irving,
Yeah.
Anthony Davis. Uh, I got to play New Orleans. All of these teams are just in my division. When you look
Yeah.
elsewhere, you're talking about the Lakers and Kevin Durant and the Suns, and Anthony Edwards and the Timberwolves, and you got
Yeah.
Nikola Jokic, uh, the Oklahoma City Thunder, and their pack of players. Like I'm playing all of these guys, and you see my record there, but then you're gonna rank me versus the Eastern Conference, where it felt like Cleveland Cavaliers could kind of pad their record and have
Yeah.
a higher seed. So it's hard to do like weighted scheduling type thing.
It is. And that's the thing. It's like, well, like what we figured out who the second seed in the West was the last week of the season. Like right? That was when y'all like decided that y'all were like decided, but like y'all made it official that y'all were 2 was the last week. And then from 3 all the way to 7 was like a 3 game distance between each other. That's why like the Clippers had to turn it up there at the end of the season. The Timberwolves did, like everyone did, and we obviously saw what the Lakers did. They got beat eventually, but they turned into the 3 seed, kind of almost like out of nowhere. It felt like because of how close it was. So, yeah, I mean, we're definitely in for like what Shams reportedly said. We're in for a crazy offseason. So hopefully we got people going to the East, but you know, I doubt it. I doubt it because it's just a lot colder over there than it is on the West Coast, and I can be the first to say that because I've dealt with both sides. But Hidro, where can they find you?
I am at the Hero Joe, THAHEROJOE on X, formerly known as Twitter, and also at the Hero Joe on Instagram. And you can find my articles on BellyUpSports.com.
Yep.
Yourself, Jacob?
You can find me on Twitter. We got an airplane coming over. Hold on. Hammy 2004, HAMIE, not HAMMY. So Hammy 2004 on Twitter. Obviously follow us on Twitter at Hardwood Huddle, not the Hardwood Huddle, just Hardwood Huddle. Make sure to use our promo or our affiliate link in the description for Opus Clips for all your clipping needs. That's what helps me make our TikToks that people like to get heated about in the comments. So make sure to go check that out on TikTok as well at the Hardwood Huddle. But like to thank BellyUp Sports for obviously giving us the show all the time. Got to respect BellyUp Sports. Hidro's latest article is in the description below as well. But yeah, make sure to like, subscribe, comment, share with your grandma, with your mom, with your dad, with your cousin, with everybody. The more people we get to watch, the better for us, right? So, and let us know how we're doing in the comments below. So, Hidro.
And let me know if you got OKC or if you got Indiana. Let us know.
Yep. And then what did I say we were going to pull? We said something about a poll earlier, right? What did I say that we were going to pull on Twitter? We were going to put a poll. About the Eastern Conference Final Trophy. Eastern Conference Finals Trophy, or the Conference Finals Trophy is in general. I'm going to put a poll on Twitter tomorrow once this comes out. And I want to hear y'all's input on that and if they're important or not, because that's interesting to me. So, all right. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. Let us know how we're doing. All right, Hidro. Have a good one.
All right. Peace.